never understand children. I will never pretend to. I meet mothers all the time who make resolutions to themselves. I'm going to develop patience with my children and go out of my way to show them I'm interested in them and what they do. I'm going to understand my children. These women wind up making rag rugs using blunt scissors. Things my mother taught me. You're going to shoot your eye out. Put your coat on. Don't you think I know when you're cold? And you're going to have fun on this vacation, even if it's the last thing you do. Mothers have been using these same phrases for generations, but to absolutely no effect. Apparently, mothers never learned How to Speak Child Fluently by Irma Bombeck. I firmly believe kids don't want your understanding. They want your trust, your compassion, your blinding love, and your car keys. But you try to understand them, and you're in big trouble. How come a kid can eat yellow snow, kiss the dog on the lips, chew gum that he found in the ashtray, put his mouth over a muddy garden hose, and refuse to drink from the same glass as his brother? Maybe you know why a child can reject a hot dog served with mustard on a soft bun at home, yet eat 6 of them 2 hours later at 50 cents each. Did you ever wonder how you can trip over a kid's shoes? In the bathroom, on the front porch, under the coffee table, in the sandbox, in the car. But how come he can never find them when it's time to cut grass? If child raising were to be summed up in one word, it's frustration. You think you're on the inside track and you find out you're still in the starting gate. Okay, take the car incident. My oldest took her car to the garage last week for repairs and used my car while hers was being fixed. For 3 days, I sat at home without wheels. On the day her car came back, she returned my car keys and said, "Hey Mom, you owe me $3 for the gas I put in your car." I could not believe what she was saying. These words were being uttered by a child paid $154 for old teeth under her pillow, indulged in $2,000 worth of toys, batteries extra, put the bill for 186 skin preparations to kill a single pimple, sent to camp, took the sink apart to find her lost class ring. Then I remembered a letter that a teenager had written me after she read one of my books. Maybe that will get through to her. "Listen to this," I said. "Parents go through life saying to their children, I've worked my fingers to the bone for you. I've made sacrifices. And what do I get in return? You want an answer? You get messy rooms, filthy clothing, disheveled hair, dirty fingernails, and raided refrigerators. But you get something else too. You get someone who loves you, but never takes the time to tell you in words. You've laughed with us and cried with us and showed us that despite the needs to be free and independent and do our own thing, you cared. And when we leave home, there'll be a little tug at our hearts because we know we will miss you and home and everything it meant. But most of all, we miss the very constantly assured knowledge of how very much you love us." My daughter looked up. Her eyes were misty. "Does that mean I don't get the $3?" My son slouched into the kitchen one night and threw his books on the countertop and said, "I'm having the worst night of my entire life and it's all your fault." How do you figure that? Because you made me go back up to my room and turn off all the lights before I went to school. I missed the bus. Then with all the nagging about cleaning my room, I couldn't find my gym clothes and got 15 points knocked off my grade. Your gym clothes were folded in your bottom drawer. Yeah, what you would expect them to be there. And you know that suede jacket you got me for my birthday last year? Well, it's gone. And I'm to blame for that? I'm glad you admit it. All I hear around here is, "Hang if you can, hang if you sweater." And the one time I take your advice and hang my jacket up on the hook in the lunchroom, someone rips it off. If I just dropped it on the floor by my feet like I usually do, I would have that suede jacket today. I said to my husband one night, "I see your children as kites. You spend a lifetime with them trying to get them off the ground. You run with them until you're both breathless. Then they crash, you add a longer tail. You patch and comfort, adjust and teach. You watch them lifted by the wind and assure them that someday they'll fly. Finally, they're airborne. And they need more string, and with each twist of the ball of twine, there's a sadness that goes with the joy because the kite becomes more distant. And you know that somehow it won't be long before this beautiful creature will snap the lifeline, binding you together and soar as it was meant to soar. Free and alone." "That was beautiful," said my husband. "Are you finished?" "I think so. Why?" "Because one of your kites just crashed into the garage door with his car. Now they're standing here with 3 surfboards with friends on them, and the third is hung up at college unions for string to come up for the holidays." Thank you.